Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well. Welcome to this video. What I'm going to touch on in this is how long it actually takes you to start making money in recruitment. Now, this is the number one question that is often asked to me. A lot of people actually want to know just a simple answer, how long it's actually going to take. And to be honest, there is no simple answer. Now, I'll give you an example. I made I think it was a 2022 part playlist where I actually started an agency. I showed me getting a client, going all the way up to making a placement with that. I showed you exactly how I picked up the client, and it took me 9 days to get a client. So we can regard me as a exceptional case because I do this all the time, and I've been doing it for years, and I don't really sleep, and I work 16-hour days. So I think it's the case of best case scenario, you're going to, start your agency within a week or so, or 2 weeks, you're going to get your first client. So that's a really good example. That position wasn't the hardest to sort, but I think everything just fell into place quite nicely. It was a 3-person interview, so it wasn't like I just sent one candidate the next day and he got the job. 3 people were interviewed. The company actually had a strict deadline that they needed to fill that position by the end of the month. So then their internal recruiter was quite keen on interviewing people quickly. So it does depend a lot on the client you pick up. The type of role you pick up as well is very important. So I just want to touch on that. So I work in the social care sector. So I recruit into care homes, private care homes, residential care homes, and also a lot of sort of private sector sort of social work. So we've got a variety of people that work in that sector. So if I pick up a position where, let's say it's a quality assurance manager, salary 65k, and the area is quite remote, it's going to take me a long time to fill that position. That if I pick up a position where it's a care assistant in London, where there's a lot of population, a lot of people out of work at the moment, it's going to be a quicker position for me to fill. So I'll give you another example. If you're looking for a JavaScript developer in London, you're more likely to fill it in about 2 to 6 weeks, depending on adding in the interview process. If it's a 1 or 2 stage interview, there might be a test involved, a coding test, and also there might be, a notice period involved in there. So with that being said, I would say no more than 3 weeks from actually getting a client to actually making a placement. So I think if you're going above 3 weeks, chances are it's going to take much longer than 3 weeks again to fill that position. It's a long fill, what we call, and it could probably take, I've worked on positions for 6 months, or I've had open positions for 6 months, and it took me a while to fill. That was the longest ever position. It took me 6 months, and I actually found two people in the last month, which was quite lucky and quite unheard of for that sector. So the client was very happy. I think they probably had that position open for about 8 or 9 months before they actually gave me the position to recruit for, and probably a few other agencies. So the long and short of it is the type of position you pick up, whether it's easy, whether it's a lower salary, is going to make sure you fill that position quicker. Also, the location is going to matter. So adding up a timeline. So I'll give you an example. So if we've got a care assistant, you should be filling that position within one week. If they've got no notice period, you would add on the notice period. So that could be 4 weeks before they actually start. That's when you send your invoice out. Now, depending on what payment terms you have set up, that will enable the client to pay within, let's say, 30 days. So you could look at just under 2 months to actually get paid. So if you started an agency, you pick up a client in your first month, it's actually going to take you 3 months before that money hits in your bank account. So I made 8 placements last month. I've only got paid for 2 at the moment because of payment terms. They've still got time to pay. Some clients are late, some clients pay before. So it could be the case of, depending on how long it actually takes to actually start making money from recruitment, you're actually looking at about 3 months, and that's for an easy position. On a harder position, it could take 3 to 6 months to actually find that person. Now, I've worked on positions where my candidate that got offered a job actually had a 3-month notice period. So in fact, if it takes 3 months to fill that position and another 3 months and then another month to get paid, so the notice period for 3 months, the time to fill the position takes 3 months, you can actually look at about 6 months before you actually get paid. So if you are looking at making quick money fast, you need to find positions where it's easier to fill. However, companies are less likely to use you or want your service or any recruiter's service if the position is easy to fill. So in a sense, they can post an advert on Indeed and get 200 applicants and not pay an agency to fill that role. So you're probably looking at about 20% of the market are probably looking to engage in agencies, whereas 80% of the market for hard positions that take a long time will be looking to use a recruitment agency. So you need to find the nice sort of not middle ground, but just on the back of the easy roles that don't need our service to the positions that don't. This is why it's so important to pick your niche and your job title before you actually think about how making money. I know I talk about what is in demand, but if you can't meet that demand, you're actually just picking up clients and not filling roles. So it's very important if you want to make money within the next 3 months to find positions that are easy for you to recruit for, but hard for the client to recruit for. So this is why it's going to involve a lot of time on your end. So a client isn't going to sit there on LinkedIn all day messaging people. I advise you to use Octopus to automate that. I advise you to send mailers, to use job boards, to post your adverts where, you know, there's free positions. I own a job board that you can go on, that you can post your position. Someone actually messaged me the other day and said they filled a position through my job board, and I haven't even posted my roles on the job board. So it's quite funny that people are actually using it and making placements. I think it was a 2,400 placement. So they were very delighted. It made me sort of rethink off of that where I'm actually posting my jobs. So I'm more of a direct guy. I don't really post too many jobs off of that. So in a nutshell, just to recap, you'll be looking at anywhere from 3 weeks to about 6 months for your first placement. I would say if no one has a notice period, you'll be looking at about a month and a half before you actually get paid. To speed things up, you can do a shorter payment term. And if you do, a lot of people are doing 7-day. So I usually say to clients, if they say, look, your 15% rate is too high, yeah, I would say, look, I can do it at 12%, I can do it at 10%, but it's going to have to be a 7-day payment term. And a lot of companies are saying, yeah, we'll do that, no problem. That sounds great. Some companies are like, no, we'll pay the 15%. So it's usually the smaller companies. And it does matter about the clients. And another important thing to sort of mention is, if you are picking up clients and you're not filling the roles, you need to still pick up more clients. Don't just get one client. Keep doing the business development until you've got a desk where it looks like something like mine, where clients email me every week and there's new jobs coming. So I don't actually have to do business development. I've got job orders coming in over and over and over. So I hope this answers some of your questions. I hope it gives a bit of clarity on that as well, how to make your money, how long it takes after you've set up your agency to actually make money, and a bit of a timeline to work off as well. So if you can do it quicker, obviously it's more advantageous to yourself. So hope that helped, and take care.